Welcome back, fellow shiny rock lovers. Let's do another video where I take rocks that have been coarse grit tumbled and I see how well they shine up in the vibratory tumbler. These rocks are all pieces of Central Texas petrified wood. Now, if you watch my videos, you know that what I like to do is find these pieces and then use them as filler material in my barrels. I do a lot of individual rock tumbling videos, a whole series called How Well Will It Tumble? And instead of just using ceramic in my barrels, I like to use this as the filler material. These are all pieces that I picked up in Central Texas. As you can see, for the most part, they're all really smooth now and ready to take on a shine. Some of them aren't quite perfect, but they're close. I could have continued to use these as fill material, but I think it's more fun once they get like this to see how well they'll shine up. This piece, as you can see, has a little bit of coarseness to it, that natural wood grain, which is perfectly acceptable. Other pieces are, well, just sort of plain Jane looking pieces of petrified wood. If these take a good shine, and they usually do, these should be beautiful. Let's find out. Let me go ahead now and get all of these in the vibratory tumbler, and I'll go for 10 days. I'll use 4 different grits. I'll use the 220 grit, the 600, the 1500, and finally the 14,000 grit aluminum oxide polish. Once I'm finished with all that, I'll bring all these back in here and I'll show you what they look like. Hopefully, we're going to have some really shiny rocks. Well, what do you think? Our Central Texas petrified wood filler material is all polished up. Did we get some good shines? Let's take a closer look at some of the nicer ones. Well, based on this first one, I would say we got a good shine for sure. This one is not a flawless tumble. However, it does have a beautiful wood pattern in it, which you would expect from petrified wood. I sure love it when they look like this, like wood you could go buy today at the hardware store. Isn't that just lovely? This one took an even nicer shine than that first one. Check this out. And it's a nearly flawless tumble. Let's see, do we see problems in there? I used the reflection to see just imperfections along the surface. Maybe a little bit there. Overall, though, this is a really good tumble and shine. Of course, we've got to have some dark wood in the batch. Look at this piece here. Great pattern in it. The reflection makes it a little tricky to show you the detail, but I think you get the idea. It's got a nice wood grain pattern in it. I really like the ones like this that show some extra color. You can see there's some red in this one, or reddish hues, or sort of a reddish tint to it. Now that I really like, and I think it's a nice example of Central Texas petrified wood. This is what you can find just walking around out here, especially after a rain. We must have had some pretty awesome forests around here some time ago. Here's another one like that first piece I showed you that just has a great petrified wood pattern in it. Just like you could go to the lumber yard and buy it today. Although I wouldn't recommend using this on any of your woodworking projects. You would probably not be too successful hammering into it or trying to cut it with a wood saw. Here's one of the small pieces that took a great shape and shine. Has some nice color in it as well. Look, I'm leaving sweaty fingerprints. Darn it, that shouldn't happen. Yeah, these were great filler pieces in my rock tumbling, and after, several cycles, they get to this point, and it's time then to move them on and get them nice and shiny. This little piece is fun. It has tiny sort of white areas, which, by the way, are in the rock. It's not leftover aluminum oxide. It's actually that color in the rock. Gives it a nice contrast. Sort of makes me think of a rock from outer space or something like that. This small one is kind of cool. Not so much on this side, which is interesting. I like this side. Can you see it has some great swirls on it? Wood grain swirls right there. It's hard to make out with the reflection, but you can kind of see it there. Now it's on the top. You see what I'm talking about? That's cool. Here's a good sized piece that took a nice tumble and shine. Not flawless, as you can see. Little, issues, but otherwise Just a really good looking piece of petrified wood, in my opinion. One reason I love rock tumbling and rock tumbling petrified wood is that every piece of it has its own little story to tell and usually something unique about it. Now this one on this side, yeah, is pretty. It's kind of interesting looking, but what I really like about it is on this side, this little light colored area right here at the end. You know, that's just interesting. It gives it character. There's no other rock on the planet that looks just like this one. And I'll end on this big guy here. So this is one of those petrified wood pieces that, as you can see, doesn't take a perfect tumble. Notice all those small surface imperfections. You can really see it here. But that's okay. Just gives it more character. Still took a good shine overall. It just looks more natural this way. And besides, there's really nothing you can do about it. You can continue tumbling it. I think those things just continue throughout the rock. So you live with it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to take these chunks of petrified wood that I find out in Central Texas and use them as filler material in my barrels as I'm tumbling other rocks. Of course, it wouldn't be fair to leave them in there and let them continue grinding down until there's nothing left of them. I know that if they could talk, they would want to have the opportunity to get in the vibratory tumbler and get all shined up like this. They've earned it, right? Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check my other videos for more like this. Thanks again.